It is Thursday, June 12th, 2025. We're looking at the strawberry moon. I believe it's pretty much reached its zenith. We will know soon enough, just in terms of what we see in the video. If it rises a little bit in the frame, then it hasn't quite reached its zenith. If it sets a little bit, then it has, and it's beginning to set. So we could probably tell just by judging the distance above and below the moon through the course of this clip. We're using a 600 millimeter zoom lens, like it's 150 at one end, 600 at the other. A Sigma contemporary, f8 on the lens, but this is considerably larger than what we would be seeing with a 600 millimeter lens. I have a 3 times teleconverter between the lens and the camera, so that multiplies the focal length by 3 times, bringing us up to 1800 millimeters. So almost 2000 millimeters. 2000 millimeters, quite frankly, would be a bit too tight. It just wouldn't leave any room above and below the moon. It might even cut into the moon. So this is about as powerful as one wants in terms of getting images of the moon, or the sun for that matter. You don't really want to get much more powerful than this if you want to see the full disk. If you just want to see part of the disk, well, you know, go wild, you know, go 3000 millimeters, 4000 millimeters, whatever. But if you want the whole moon or the whole sun within the frame of your video, because there's a bit more space above and below in terms of still photos, but in terms of video, I don't think you really want to go much more than 1800 millimeters. So we're going to just pan a little bit because the moon's getting across to the other side of the frame there. Yep. There we go. So yeah, there's a bit of vibration in terms of the panning. Okay, so I see there's more space above the moon than below it at the moment. I'm just going to leave things as they are, and we'll see what happens as it traverses the frame. But it's a very tight framing. But we'll know whether or not it's rising or setting, or just traversing pretty much horizontally at the, you know, zenith. Just in terms of how much space is left below or above the sun, the moon. I am just a tad sleep deprived. I think I'm gonna yawn again. Excuse me. Yeah, so what's happening here? It looks like it might be starting to sit. Looks like it's maybe a little closer to the bottom of the frame now. We'll just let this run through though. And what else can we say here? As I said, the focal length is 1800 millimeters, give or take a bit, because when, you know, they say 600 millimeters, you know, on the zoom lens, well, it might only actually be 580 or something like that. It's not necessarily actually 600 millimeters. And then you multiply whatever it is by 3 times. So yeah, the moon is getting down at the bottom. I think it's beginning to set. So I think what we're going to do is reframe, move the moon to the left, and also change things so that there's room for it to descend a little bit. So there we go. What we got? Let's just adjust this. Okay, what do we got? What do we got? Not so bad. So now there's less space at the top of the frame, a bit more at the bottom. But if the moon is indeed now descending, as I believe is the case, then it will get a bit more space at the top and a bit less at the bottom. So we're heading towards the center of the frame here. It's pretty well centered right now. So again, you know, this movement obviously is due to the rotation of the Earth. So we're rotating, and that's causing the moon to move from left to right in the frame. And it does indeed excuse me, boy, appear to be starting to set now. Seems to be moving slowly downwards, but it's very much a horizontal trajectory, and has been for quite a bit of the evening. So it's sort of up at the top of its very low, shallow trajectory, and whether it's rising or setting, it's rising and setting so little that it's barely noticeable. It basically just moves across the frame horizontally. We're getting to the other side there. So we're going to pan again. Oh, come on. Trying not to overdo things here. What do we got? Okay, this looks pretty good. So almost the same space above and below the moon, and it's got plenty of room to traverse across the frame here. So we're just going to let it slowly make its way across the frame. We're at 12 minutes and 20 seconds time left. Now it's 12 minutes and 10 seconds of time left. So we're just going to let it run. But I think this will probably be my last clip. I mean, there's only so much one can do. I might make sure my focus is as sharp as possible, but I honestly think it's pretty darn sharp. Like, I'm not sure I can get it any sharper than this in terms of the optical equipment I'm using. Thankfully, the wind has died down. There was quite a bit of wind, which is causing a fair bit of vibration. So there's much less wind. There's just a slight breeze, but I don't think it's enough to really do much to the camera in terms of vibration. So it does appear that the moon is slowly setting. There seems to be a bit more space above the moon than below it than there was earlier in the video clip. Excuse me. I think I may do a clip that's a bit darker. I might even do one that's a bit lighter. But I think we're in the ballpark in terms of exposure here. So yeah, that's pretty much it. I think, yeah, what I'll do is I won't even like end the clip. I'll just keep the clip going here, but I will adjust the exposure. Let's just get the moon a bit higher in the frame. Yeah, it's jumping all over the place there. Move it to the left a bit. Yeah, that's pretty good. So yeah, we're going to darken things a bit. There we go. We went down a third of a stop. I'm not seeing a big difference on the screen, but perhaps a bit more detail. We'll let this run. But I think I'm going to go a bit darker. I think I will let this run through and then go down to 2000 ISO instead of 2500. It was at 3200. I was seeing a nice glow around the moon. If I zoomed out, made the moon smaller, we might be able to see the glow. Then again, we might not. If I exposed for the glow, the moon might wash out. And I don't want to do that. Ugh. Yeah, it's been a long day. And I have to say I've had a good number of nights where I haven't got enough sleep. So, par for the course, I suppose. So yeah, we're getting close to the edge of the frame on the right side there. Got a little over 8 minutes of recording time left, so I think we're just going to let this clip run. Just do like a 20-minute clip. I think that'll probably be my last clip of the evening, but we're going to have to do some adjustment again. So I just lowered the ISO to 2000. So we've gone down 2/3 of the stop since the beginning. The moon's a bit high in the frame, but I do believe it's descending now. I do believe it's sort of in the set mode. It's past the zenith now and starting to set. So it should go lower in the frame. Not a lot, because it's a very shallow trajectory. But nevertheless, I think, you know, at the end of this clip in 7 minutes, the moon should be a bit lower than it is right now. I see a bus going by. It must be in transit or something. It's very peaceful, I have to say. Quite quiet and no traffic because we're on a major thoroughfare, but there's not that much traffic at this time. And, yeah, generally quite peaceful. I see the moon is heading towards trees, but I think, yeah, for the time being, I don't think I'm changing my position. I'm not ending the clip. But it's getting to the point where maybe at the end of the clip, you know, less than 6 minutes from now, the moon will be butting up against some tree branches. Not even the top of the tree, actually. Okay, there we go. We're going to just pan a bit. And, whoops. Let's loosen that up a little. Okay. Yeah, come on. It's interesting how I can just adjust the height just by tightening or loosening the tripod levers. Well, lever's not quite the right word, but nevertheless, just by how much I screw in or screw out the handles on the tripod makes a difference in terms of the angle. So we got less than 5 minutes left. 4 minutes and 40 seconds to go. I'm just going to let the moon continue to move down through the frame from the look of things. Yeah, we can see now it's butting up against the tree. So, got some branches there on the right. Just debating what to do here. What we'll do is we will, whoops a daisy, that was accidental. And we'll just, there we go, move a bit to the left. So we got 3 minutes and 40-ish seconds left in this recording. We're just going to let the moon run into the tree. And then if I do a new clip, I'll reposition myself so it's in a clear, unobstructed sky. But we'll let the tree come into the picture here.